Bitcoin falls 11% after report suggests a critical flaw in the cryptocurrency called double spend may have occurred. What does this mean, and should I be worried? What's going to happen? These are some of the questions you may have had or are having if you are an uninformed and relatively new Bitcoin or cryptocurrency holder and or trader. In this video, I'm going to attempt to explain the double spend problem to you. I'm going to provide you with a resource that I highly recommend you use to understand Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies in general, and the risks and benefits that are involved. I'm also going to cap off the video by giving my own opinion on what I think this means and where prices may go, and just essentially what the future has to hold. And I must start the video now by saying that the disclaimer here is that this is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. This video is only meant to be informative. If you think about money that we use in everyday life, paper money, when you give $5 to somebody or a business, that money is gone. It's no longer in your possession. It's a piece of paper that's now with somebody else. The only thing you have to remember that is your memory and or whatever you exchanged for that $5. But when we do money in a digital format, it's really easy to copy it. So if you think of digital money as a file, for a simple explanation, when you send that file to somebody else, so let's say we take that $5 and we digitize it into a file and we send that to somebody else, what's going to stop us from making a copy of that file and sending that same exact $5 to somebody else? This is in essence the double spending problem. This graphic, by the way, is taken from a blog by CoinSutra. CoinSutra is a great resource for you guys to learn more about blockchain, cryptocurrency, and the space in general. Quick side note, please don't forget to like this video. It really helps my channel grow by getting the content in front of more people. Please also write any questions or concerns you have in the comment sections. I'm looking forward to answering them, and I'm also looking forward to hearing from your suggestions. If you think that you want some other videos explaining different things, I would love to be able to do that if I know what you guys want. And if you really enjoy the channel, subscribing would help a lot as well. Now, moving on. I know I just talked about the source of this graphic being CoinSutra, which is a great resource. But in the beginning of the video, I talked about giving you guys one resource that is absolutely essential and very useful. And that is this book, Mastering Bitcoin, which is in the second edition. And it's by a guy named Andreas Antonopoulos. I highly recommend you guys checking him out. He's a big authority in this space, and he's done a huge service for the development community, at least by writing this book, and also a book on Ethereum, actually, which details all of the specific technical aspects behind how these systems work and how they are built. The book is available for free on Github. It's called Bitcoin Book, and what I have actually done here is I have gone and I've already done a search within the repository for double spend. So while you can go and check out this repository on your own and read all the different chapters electronically, you can also do a repository-wide search for different keywords, and that will bring up every chapter or every document that that keyword is mentioned in. So in this case, I've put in double spend, and I've also opened some of these links where I'm pointing you guys towards where this specific issue is mentioned in. So if we dig deeper into the first chapter here, in the first reference to double spending, we'll see in this particular section that some of the three basic questions anyone accepting digital money will want to ask is, can I trust that the money is authentic and not counterfeit? And most importantly, for our case, can I trust that the digital money can only be spent once? And this is known as the double spend problem. So I recommend you guys read this first chapter. It's very informative. It's not really as technical as the rest of the book, and it's going to offer a lot of insight already for anybody who doesn't know much about Bitcoin, the technology, or the history. You'll get a way better understanding, I think, just by reading the first chapter. And now, another area where double spending is mentioned in the Bitcoin book is in chapter 10 and under consensus attacks. And this is really, I believe, the most viable way that double spending can actually happen. And I think there's a lot of consensus behind that. So I'm just going to come here and identify all the places where double spend is mentioned. And you can see easily with a search that you have many references to double spending here that you can go and read on your own. But I will summarize what all of this is trying to say by pulling together this article from Binance. Again, everything here that I'm showing you will be linked in the description of the video, so don't worry. Binance is I think one of the biggest exchanges in the world based out of Hong Kong, but that's besides the point. Here they have a really nice, helpful, simple explanation of what a 51% attack is, which is like a consensus attack. And I'm going to explain in my own words what that means, and you guys should definitely pause the video and read this without my voice over it so you can get an idea of it on your own as well. So blockchains are validated by a network, and in that network there are nodes, which are individual computers, and each individual computer is going to the algorithm defined in the technology to solve this really hard problem to then validate that the blockchain that it's looking at, or that version of it, is valid. And if enough nodes agree that a certain version of the blockchain is valid, then that becomes the standard blockchain moving forward. And then the next block gets added to the end of it, and the next block, and the next block, and this process repeats infinitely. That's why it's a blockchain. And so a 51% attack is one where one node or a consortium of nodes conspire to basically fraud the system by accepting their own version of the blockchain as valid, in which case they have a majority, and that version will become the actual state of the blockchain. And in that, their goal would be to double spend their own money and then approve the blockchain where the double spending happened, and thereby making it all valid. So I hope that's been helpful so far. I want to get back into this article and get back into what's going on today with the fall of Bitcoin being potentially due to this news that a double spend transaction was identified. And I want to add my own opinion before we end the video, and that is basically that I don't think this double spend could have happened. There's definitely not enough research behind it. It's only one group, which is the research arm of BitMEX, which is a cryptocurrency exchange, that is saying this. This could be possibly a ploy to plummet the price of Bitcoin so that certain people can take advantage of it. It could also be completely true. I'm also myself not fully aware of all the deep intricacies of Bitcoin, as many other more experienced people are. BitMEX has been an exchange that's been around for a while, and so ideally the research team are experts, but I really don't think this is possible. It could also be that it's a good faith mistake, and that we're going to find out more in the coming days as they look into this particular transaction, which looks like it was only $21 that was double spent. As people look into this, as researchers look into it, we're going to have some more answers. Now, I do think that a 51% attack is more likely to happen if we are to see double spending, especially because there's news that, there's data actually that the Chinese miners, or miners in China, represent something like 60% of the world hashing power being the power of the Bitcoin network in general to accept the state of the blockchain as new blocks are added to it. So that's a whole conversation for a different video, but I don't believe that this actually happened. It could be a mistake. It could be people trying to mess with the price, which itself is another threat, because if this research is actually, as I believe, the culprit behind the price drop, then it means that it itself is a threat that people can put in fake news, so to say, and manipulate the price. I also want to discuss further why I do believe that this news itself is why the Bitcoin price dropped today specifically, because if you look at this article by Cointelegraph, you could see that it's reported that the Coinbase Premium Index, which is something you can look up yourself, but basically it's the sentiment of what is going on with the premium on the prices of cryptocurrencies, I believe, on this exchange, Coinbase, specifically their professional trading platform, Coinbase Pro, that the premium index has been negative. And if we open this Twitter feed, we'll see how long ago that was. And it looks like this was happening about 12 hours ago. So this is the tweet that the article is mentioning from 12 hours ago. It does seem like this analyst is in China. So, if we go back 5-6 hours ago when the prices started to really go down, then it is more than likely that since, as reported, the Coinbase Premium Index had turned negative, it is these traditional traders, these more intelligent, more experienced traders who could have picked up the news about double spending and realizing how much of an important issue that is. They went ahead and sold because they knew that panic would ensue, or they actually truly believed that, hey, if this is double spending and double spending could happen, which is not my my opinion, then they wanted to lock in their gains and kind of sit out and wait until researchers and analysts look into this issue further, because if it is in fact true, then the price is going to go down a lot more. So there you have it. That's my analysis. I do recommend you guys not to make any rash decisions and to start getting super educated on this topic and following the right people to get the information you need. I want to remind you again that this is not financial advice in any way, and that you are encouraged to do your own research based on some of the things I've touched upon today. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again on the channel soon.